The second Intergovernmental Relations Symposium was held on March 4th to the 6th of March 2024 in Naivasha, Nakuru County, under the theme The State of Intergovernmental Relations, Consolidating and Deepening Devolution in Kenya. The objective of the symposium was to take stock of the performance of intergovernmental relations at the two levels of government within the last 10 years of the Kenyan devolved system of governance.
10 years down the line, we are not laying foundations for devolution. We are actually deepening it. Most of the counties have taken shape. Institutions that perform devolved functions have also taken shape. So right now, the country is actually deepening, expanding, and consolidating devolution.
The symposium brought together over 200 participants drawn from both the county and national government, representatives from the IGR organs, development partners related to devolution, representatives of constitutional commissions, civil representatives, representatives of academic institutions, among others.
The delegates have consistently been present in the hall. Even health breaks are not taken that serious. People are very much focused on the discussion and deliberations that are ongoing. And I think going by that, it means the deliberations, the resolutions that will come out of this conversation or this symposium I will be very keen to look at how we are going to ensure that they are implemented.
Teresia Mbaike, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry, State Department of Devolution, who spoke on behalf of the Deputy President, reiterated that the Constitution recognizes that for effective service delivery, the two levels of government must work together in harmony and ensure any disputes are collaboratively addressed.
Article 189(4) on cooperation between national and county government provides that the national legislation shall provide procedures for settling intergovernmental disputes by alternate dispute resolution mechanism, including negotiations, mediation, and arbitration.
A little over a decade into the implementation of the Constitution 2010 and the devolved system of governance, major strides have been achieved, positively impacting the political and socio-economic development of the country. But there still exists governance challenges that continue to be an impediment to the attainment of the objects and principles of devolution.
We still have challenges of capacity, not because we don't have highly experienced, highly trained officers in respective counties, but more often the politicization of employment has brought us into a space where you get well-trained people, professionals, but inexperienced because they have not worked anywhere, being thrust into very high positions of decision-making.
The head of public service, Felix Koskei, urged counties to embrace diversity within the workforce and invest in personnel that is skilled and capable of navigating the complexities of modern governance landscape.
Besides nepotism in employment and everything, the worst part of it now is corruption. Corruption and nepotism combined, because you are running the office corruptly and you are giving to your brothers, your relatives contracts. Too much inbreeding. Corruption has ravaged counties like a wildfire.
Koskei further called for deliberate actions in addressing corruption and commit to holding individuals personally responsible for any misconduct, noting corruption poses a serious threat to the growth and development of the devolved units. Intra-county relations was another key issue that came up from the discussions. According to Dr. Kipkirui Chapkwony, the CEO IGRTC, there are challenges that counties do not quite understand how they should be resolved.
There are two issues that have already been brought to my attention by Bungoma County government on the issue of land and the issue of the land use, which is being used by national government, and yet it's a county government land. And all they're asking is they only need to be able to be brought together. They do not disagree with what the national government is doing with the land. But now, that the national government just needs to recognize that this land belongs to the county government of Bungoma. And that's a small issue that IGRTC can be able to solve through an intergovernmental party agreement. And it does not take, it's not a very difficult issue. So it's something that we would pick from here, and we need to be able to attend to that. Tana River have also come asking that they need to be assisted to be able to develop intergovernmental units in the county in view of how sparse that county is. It is so big, it's so huge that the only thing that can be able to work for them is if they have IGR units. So it is lessons that we have been able to learn here that will improve on our work, and we also, the issues that have been raised here will be able to guide us as we go to implement the strategic plan that we have been able to launch, for us to be able to be stakeholder friendly, stakeholder responsive as well.
This concerns Chepkwony says will help guide IGRTC in the implementation of a strategic plan that will help the organization be stakeholder responsive.
The head of public service has challenged us to ensure that it is the citizenry do not recognize boundaries. They are interested in service delivery. So the challenge is, while at the recognizing the two levels of government, the uniqueness of the counties, the interdependence, we should not hinder the service delivery. And public servants have been challenged to ensure that they perform or they deliver services to Kenyans independent of the boundary, whether county or national, whichever county it is.
Kennedy Hakamba Omukunda, the team leader, Ahadi Governance and Research Center consultant, called for continuous engagement within the county and national government for devolution to work. Omukanda, however, noted that though there is relative public participation in various issues, the challenge is in the implementation of what citizens really want in policy development.
Citizens go on the ground and they give a lot of information on how they want things to be done. The question is, sometimes those things are ignored. The second aspect is the issues of inclusion. You know, we have persons with disability, we have the deaf community, we have physically challenged people, we have the blind. One of the things you ask yourself, are our public participation meetings allowing everyone to be included in the process?
In collaboration with the Ministry of Public Service, county performance contracting guidelines were established in 2016 to support performance management system in the counties. Counties were, however, urged to prescribe themselves to the guidelines and ensure they have performance contracting to influence achievements and visage.
You will be evaluated with the Ministry of Public Service in ensuring that we have an anchor in terms of a legal framework that will provide these sound frameworks for purposes of continuity and prosperity, even post the governments, and to ensure that whenever there is a new administration, we do not deviate from what was from the previous one, because we will have a legal framework that is in place.
Delays in the disbursement of financial resources was identified as another challenge which hampers delivery of services.
I cannot overemphasize this. I said again, performance management is linked with the resources that are actually cascaded down to the people that have been given responsibilities. If you have been told that you have to construct 20,000 kilometers of road, you will not just walk and look. Resources must be given to you. So one of the challenges that we're experiencing in terms of ensuring that we have an effective management system is delayed resources.
To resolve these issues, the following recommendations were made. Develop a framework that insulates performance management functions that is progressive. Operationalize the national performance policy to standardize performance management and timely disbursement of resources. Hilary Sigay, Senator Bomet County, called for a change of mindset and adoption of a one government approach so that service can be delivered seamlessly to the people of Kenya.
Do we say we are competitors, that is the national government and the county government, or we say we are complementars? We are all equal. There is no national government, serikali kuu, and there is no county government. If that were to be the mindset, we will be competing. And since it is not, then we all agree that we are one government supposed to complement each other, because we need to deliver services to the people of Kenya in all the levels that we are given the responsibility to do.
Sigei, who sits in the Senate as the chair of the Legal and Justice Committee, committing to support IGRTC in pushing for legislation that entrenches gains of devolution.
So much of what we might need to do, which I have borrowed from the summary that Professor gave us in terms of legislative amendments, will come to my desk. And I want to promise that besides even additional sessions together, Chairman, I definitely would be very happy to support IGRTC and also other relevant government agencies in pushing for and supporting legislations that supports and entrenches the gains of devolution.
On their part, the counties acknowledge the ongoing valuation of assets associated with devolved functions through IGRTC.
We hope that at the end of this symposium, concrete proposals will be reached, culminating in the eventual transfer of all the functions or particularized in schedule of the Constitution. We also hope that the resources will follow those functions.
After intense deliberations by key stakeholders, various resolutions were made.
Resolute that spirit and letter of the Constitution in relation to the implementation of the devolved system of governance is entrenched on consultation, cooperation, and coordination amongst the established intergovernmental structures and the two tiers of government. Now, therefore, the second Intergovernmental Relations Symposium resolves as follows.
This include IGRTC shall deepen engagements with Parliament and county assemblies through a coordination framework that guides tabling and feedback on summit reports as provided by Section 10 of the Intergovernmental Relations Act of 2012. Devolution and intergovernmental relations shall be promoted and facilitated by all stakeholders for effective service delivery for all citizens. There needs to be a framework that guides the implementation of intergovernmental relations in Kenya. Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee shall coordinate a 10-year cost analysis for the implementation of devolved functions to inform resource allocation to both levels of government. Both levels of government shall adhere to the provisions of Intergovernmental Act of 2012 and embrace amicable resolution of disputes through the available alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. IGR Act of 2012 be reviewed and amended to strengthen IGRTC to give it power and authority. Roles and responsibilities of intergovernmental institutions be defined to avoid duplication and create synergy. Both levels of government shall enhance monitoring and evaluation and risk management on public resources management to enable realization of the objects of devolution. That the Presidential Economic Transformation Secretariat engages extensively with the county government and ministries, departments and agencies to align with the bottom-up economic transformation agenda better plan and priorities into county and national government periodic development plan. Both levels of government shall strengthen structured intergovernmental consultations on the implementation of county aggregation and industrial parks to ensure increased exports from 10% of GDP to 30%, among others. According to Marion Eboko, Technical Officer IGRTC, the symposium has showed that there is a lot of work and expectations for IGRTC in helping devolution work.
There's a lot of expectation from the county secretaries, from the CAF, and also from the Soccer Society. So for us is to go back and put down an implementation matrix so that resolutions that have been resolved from this symposium are able to be implemented.
The launch of the IGRTC Strategic Plan 2023-2027, which is aligned to the bottom-up economic plan.
The strategic plan has 6 key resort areas and several strategic objectives, as well as strategies and key activities that the institutions envisions to implement in the period, in the planned period of 5 years. The strategic plan again gives the institution a breath of new life because it has helped us to reorganize the institutional structures, both at the human resource level and also the financial level. And these are the implementation coordination framework that we will use as an institution to implement the vision and the strategic goals that we intend to achieve in the next 5 years.
And as IGRTC also embarks on an improved visibility plan for the organization to ensure all stakeholders are aware of their functions in helping improving intergovernmental relations, there was a call to ensure improved collaboration, consultation, and cooperation between the 2 levels of government to ensure effective and efficient service delivery for all Kenyans.